Hello and namaste, my beautiful friends. I'm Jill Loftus of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of October the 21st, 2024. Now, this week will begin with a little bit of tension, but we're moving towards, at the end of the week and into the following week, a configuration that we've all got our eye on, this opposition between Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. So I'm going to make this suggestion. I'll show you my little I voted sticker. I went today and voted here in Southwestern Virginia. I highly recommend that you take the action of early voting, if that is at all possible for you. Check your local laws, ordinances, the hours, all that kind of stuff. But if you could do that ahead of time, it's really wise, because the energy of the week leading up to the elections in the United States and the week of the elections has some very tense astrology. So as we begin this week, we have that tension in the sky between the Sun and Pluto. So Sun is in Libra. We felt this at the end of last week. We walk into this week with this clash energy between the Sun in the sign of partnership and Pluto in the sign of authority figures, bosses, Saturnian types. So remember that both Libra and Capricorn are what we call cardinal signs. They're activators. They're the push, right? They are energized. They are activity. They are action. All right, and so both of these are in a difficult angle, and then this is going to kind of thwart each of them in their purpose, right? Now, the reason for this is to elevate to next level these types of things, but know where Libra and Capricorn are in your chart, and know that these very, very last degrees, really are quite potent. And if you haven't gotten the message, you will get the message at the beginning of the week of where you're trying to be led, particularly in partnerships, because partnerships are so activated during this time. Now, the other thing that's activating partnerships as we start the week is Venus. Venus is in the sign of Sagittarius, and she is sending beautiful energy to the nodes of the moon. So the nodes of the moon are in Aries and Libra. So again, partnerships very much focused on who you want to work with, how you want to work with them, if your values align with them. Now, interestingly enough, we're going to have this lovely energy from Venus, and then we're going to have some lovely energy from Mars coming up later. But Mars will be in a different sign, right? But still, really, this beneficial blessings coming from, the two lovers, right? Venus and Mars. This is really inspiring us to next level our partnerships and make sure they're positive for us. Now, another note that you want to watch as we begin the week on the 21st, we have Mercury in Scorpio beginning to move into a trine, a beautiful blessing aspect with Saturn in Pisces. So the things that you're thinking about, dreaming of, scheming about, they have much more potency with this type of astrology. And so be very, very focused on the mind. It was interesting. I was talking with my husband the other day, and he is taking this spiritual class with my dear friend Ann Bayford. If any of you are in need of a psychic assistance, AnnBayford.com. She's incredible. But they were discussing how the messages that we send to the universe, sometimes they don't come with the nuance that we would intend for them. So you really have to strive to watch what you're saying and what you're thinking. Another example would be, I had a client recently who was saying, she said, I caught myself thinking, well, I'd rather have a bad relationship than no relationship at all. And she said, and I caught myself thinking that. And I was like, wait, no, that's not what I want to manifest. So this week is a week to really be aware of what you say to the universe, what you hold in your mind, whatever it is. You are the creator. You are creating this world, right? So dream a beautiful dream. Think a beautiful life. Focus on the positive, even though I know there's so much swirling out there. All right, and so then I'm also going to take note here on the 22nd, because that's the day of the exact Sun-Pluto clash and the exact Mercury-Saturn. So I love that there's some creative energy there with that Mercury-Saturn, that can help us to solve the problems that get stirred up by the clash between the Sun and Pluto. Now, also note we have the sun moving into Scorpio on the 22nd, and that is a distinct vibe change, right? So we go from this partnered, collaborative energy to this depth and perception. And, it's Scorpio season. It's such a marvelous season to really dig a little deeper, to understand how things really work, and to face them fearlessly, right? Now, I'm also really loving this week. We have Mars in Cancer beginning to pick up some really lovely energy to both Neptune and to Uranus. Now, the flow with Neptune is a trine, so it might be something that you might be like, oh yeah, well that's great, I'll get that opportunity later. And you will, because possibly, because Mars is going to retrograde, right? And so it'll pick this aspect up again. But at the same time this is happening, it's also sending sextile energy over to Uranus. And so there's these potentials for shocking, magical things to happen, shocking shifts or changes. I always get the image of like the Eight of Wands in tarot. It's like, and boom, suddenly everything is different, right? One small thing, you have one interaction, you meet one person, you make a decision. Now, are these always easeful? No. Outer planet energy is not always, it's not all unicorns and butterflies, all right? It's about transformation in a larger scale. And so this flow that we're feeling from that Mars in Cancer to that watery Neptune, well, this could really help us set our emotional compass in a new way that might be creative, that might be a little bit more in connection to the cosmos in some way. And then with that little spark of the Uranian energy, well, it might also be something that frees us up for something better, or it gives us the will and drive to be ourselves, be unique, embrace our differences. So feel into that energy this week. We also have all week, and we've been in this for a while, this Jupiter and Gemini sending this little sextile, sexy sextile to Chiron and Aries. Well, it perfects again this week, and so this is, again, multiple ideas, embracing different philosophies, talking to different people, and realizing, oh wow, I didn't even know that I was still wearing that wound. I was still operating from that damaged part of myself. Well, I can work on myself here. Abundant opportunities are flowing for that, and so do the work. And be honest about where the work needs to be done on yourself, right? We can all get the other people and the world and say, this is what should be done, but this is where the change starts. It starts with us. Now, note also, we've got a pretty extensive moon void on the 26th, 4:04 a.m. Eastern until 11:47 a.m. Eastern. So keep that in mind, especially my European clients and UK clients. Like, you're going to need to adjust that for your time zone, but it's going to be kind of in the center of your day. And then we want to start to watch that Mars tug of war with Pluto that will start to spark up around the 27th. And this is energy we really are keeping our eyes on. So if you have anything late Cancer, late Capricorn, early Leo, early Aquarius, I want you to be super aware of this energy. This energy is highly emotional. This energy is agitated. This is an energy of fighting and warfare and dark forces, dark energies. So if you have planets or points in those areas, I want you to really pay attention to them, okay? And I would also pay attention if you have planets or points in late Aries, early Taurus, late Libra, early Scorpio as well. So keep an eye on what this energy manifests, because it's going to happen 2 more times because of that Mars retrograde cycle. So it's definitely a time that I would say white light shields up, try to lift your vibration. Don't listen to music that has violent lyrics. Don't watch television shows that are focused on violence. Monitor your exposure to social media and media in general. You have to know what's going on, but if you immerse in it, you can become resonant with it. And so you don't want to be resonant with any potential violence, underhanded activities, dark energies, etc. All right? So it's definitely one of those things. A good offense is a good defense as we get into the latter part of this month and early November. all right? So I just want you to be careful, cautious, and wise. So as far as the light, oh, one more thing. Venus is also going to square Saturn when we get into the weekend as well. So Venus has some lovely aspects at the beginning of the week, but then she gets a little roughed up by Saturn at the end. Well, what could this be? This could be she's being a little too impetuous, a little impatient, a little too action-oriented, and not seeing the kind of things that are simmering beneath the surface. I get this image of it's like you're wanting to dash into the water, you know, and you don't realize there's sharp coral in the bottom or something metallic, right? That makes me think of Saturn in Pisces, like metal lurking in the waters, right? But there's something there. Or there's, you know, you have this desire to do something, and then you check the rules later and you realize, wow, I did all that work and I can't even do what I wanted to do, right? It's those kinds of things. But just see where's Sagittarius in your chart, where's Pisces in your chart. How can you harmonize those two energies? All right. So back to the light and the shadow of the week. Well, I'm liking the Mercury-Saturn trine because I love a little sticking power, because I think then you tend to see results a little faster. So it can help you kind of in your manifestations when you see, oh wow, you know, I wanted this, I put this energy out there, this came through, oh, I see how this works. I'm also really loving the Venus and Sagittarius trine to the nodes. Venus is my star, and I love it when she's vibing, right? And the Mars-Uranus, the Mars sextile Uranus and trine Neptune, I feel like this is so important for trusting our intuition, honing our intuition. I feel like that's a big piece of this Mars retrograde and Cancer cycle of learning to trust ourselves, right? And then the shadow, of course, Sun square Pluto, always a little tricky, always a little underhanded, always a little, you know, feels like you can't get what you want, right? Watch out that Venus square Saturn as well. Watch money, watch love. And then that Pluto-Mars opposition building up, and really just really trying to hope for the best for that aspect, particularly when I look at the world and some of these the wars, the fighting, this stuff that's happening here. I feel like this could be truly an escalation of some of those things. And if it is, it's not going to be a one and done, okay? It's going to be a pattern that will repeat into early next year, which has its own challenges, right? So, all right. Well, if you found this useful and helpful, please share it with a friend. Please like, please comment. That does help the channel to grow. Stick around. I'm going to be offering the Isis Lotus Tarot, which will give us 2 different ways to work with the energy. And I'll see you next week. Hello. It was too pretty to go inside. You know, autumn in southwestern Virginia. It's so beautiful. So I'm out here listening to the birds, swatting the mosquitoes, and doing some tarot, baby. Let's do it. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at the Isis Lotus Tarot. This is for the week of October the 21st, 2024. Interesting week, you know. I mean, there's a lot to like about the week. There's also a lot of sketch, man. And this solar maximum stuff, I don't know if you've been following any of that. I have the space weather app. I can really feel it. It messes with the electrical systems, and it messes with my nervous system, you know it? So it's got to be messing with other things in the world. All right, so reading for the collective Isis Lotus for the week of October the 21st. Alrighty, my friends. First card is the past. So in the past, the basic influence has been this feeling of not being able to move forward, this hanging man energy, this like, oh, why can't it come together now? I want it now. Well, no. I just had a conversation this morning with one of my clients, and I was saying, you know, this is one of those things where sometimes you have to work on your delayed gratification. You know, if I say to you, you can have a half of the pie now, or if you wait 2 hours, you can have the whole pie. Like, which one are you going to do? This is the whole pie card. You got to wait. All right. And you, present environment, Page of Cups. So there's something that you want to initiate or begin. It's emotionally fulfilling. It makes you happy to think about it. It's like, yeah, I really want to start something. Okay. You have an idea. And the environment, well, judgment. Judgment is here, meaning that you have to make a decision. All right. Whatever is going to lead you to this thing that you want to create, you have to make this decision. It's a moment of judgment. Okay. Judgment Day. Now, as these energies come together, the culmination is 10 of Swords. So therefore, you've decided you want to do this new thing. It could be there's an ending that doesn't feel very comfortable. It feels like a little bit like a trip and fall. It feels a little bit like a dire situation. That is because you are being freed up for something else. So try to focus on the future and not what you've lost here. And the key card of the future is the Lovers. So there's some perfect person, situation, circumstance, job, whatever. There's something good coming your way. So have some faith. Okay. Now the opposing forces in play. 4 of Cups. I always, there's 2 ways to look at this. This can be like, oh yeah, magical shit happens all the time, so I'm going to blow that off and miss it. Or it can be like, I trust the process. I feel like this is very much a trust the process card. And then on the other side, we've got the 4 of Pentacles, which says conserve your resources, conserve your energy, conserve your time, conserve your money. Don't go crazy, okay? I know you want this thing, but you have to be rational in the way that you approach it. Now, the near future key card is the Knight of Swords. Wow. Okay, so remember how I spoke about in the reading about the Mercury Saturn and how you really needed to watch what was going on with your mind and your mouth. Harmonize your mind and your mouth and move forward. Move forward. All right. And then the modifiers. Well, on the 4 of Cups side, we've got the Queen of Wands. You got to tend to things. You got to take care of things. You can't let things linger. On the 4 of Pentacles side, we have the King of Pentacles. So you also, this is one side seems to be a little bit more focused on money, practicalities, and basics. Over on the 4 of Cups sides, we have also the Emperor. So there is a strong male energy influencing this situation. A ruler is influencing this situation. It's interesting. On the other side, with the 4 of Pentacles, we have the 6 of Wands. So being seen, being admired, being appreciated. You're being recognized for your gifts and talents. All right, 2 possible progressions or solutions. On the 4 of Cups side, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So moving forward with it on this side as well. Very, Knight energy is very action oriented. On the 4 of Pentacles side, we have the Star. So this indicates that you need to be pretty optimistic, pretty certain things are going to work out. Know and trust yourself, know and trust your skills, right? Know and trust, lean into your, maybe your intuition a little bit more, right? Because she's so present with the water. And then over with the 4 of Cups on this Knight of Pentacles side is the Ace of Pentacles, some kind of brand new beginning. And then on the 4 of Pentacles side and the Star side, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So moving forward. So it does look like some traction will be created this week, okay? So remember, we're basically coming from this place of feeling like we're having to wait, okay? That things aren't coming together, maybe on the schedule that we want. And we have this idea of what we want, okay? We're moving towards this thing that's emotionally fulfilling. We have a decision that will need to be made this week. And in making that decision, that means something else is going to have to end or not be completed in the way that you thought you were going to. Now, the key card is the Lovers. Look for the thing that you're passionate about. Look for that thing that you love. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we go to 6 and 7, which are the 4 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. So then we tell the story, right? So, we have this potential that we like really like need to lean into trusting the universe. Four of Cups. When we do that, then the idea will come. All right, Knight of Swords. We know what we need to say, we know what we need to do. Then we need to pursue it in a way of tending, make the follow-up phone call, go ahead and do the thing. And then you will meet the Emperor. And the Emperor could be you, or you. This is a strong authority figure who's going to assist you, but assistance will come to you. And then you can move forward with the practicalities of what you're desiring to do. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, right? It's very financial based, resource based outcome here. On the other side, well, we have the Four of Pentacles. So we've decided we want to do these things, but we need to regroup a little bit. Okay, this is a little bit more of you know, the practical side of things. Like if you're feeling like, oh, I'm approaching all of this super intuitively, then I would say this is your side. But if you are looking more at finances, money, you know, real estate, things, practical things, then this is your side, right? Four of Pentacles. Approach it rationally. And then you have to be the king. You have to make decisions. You have to make practical choices. You need to make hard decisions that are based on reality. And then, you know, you'll get immediate feedback on that. Somebody will see you, recognize you, and be like, hey, you know, they'll, even if they don't, even if they aren't central to the thing, there's some kind of encouragement coming to you that will let you know that you're on track. And then you can use that intuition and start to build something new. I would say also that this first side, if it resonates with you, it's something brand new, because this ace is how we finish it up. On the other side, it's something you've already been working on. That kind of makes sense to me. All right. Well, I hope you have a marvelous week. I want you to stay safe. White light shields up, and I'll see you next week.